If you're tired of the same old boring food, then welcome. We have a special treat for you today. Welcome, chefs. We're glad to see you back here, and welcome to another episode of Salt and Strive. We have a very unique show. So we're going to do a Nantucket, New England lobster pasta. This is going to be really cool. We're going to go to New England today. We're going to get started with some ingredients. Here I have 2 4-ounce lobster tails here. And we have 4 ounces of butter, softened butter, sea salt, pepper, minced garlic. And here I have a combination of an Old Bay seasoning, shallots, and I have some minced garlic in here with some dry thyme. So it's really cool to come up with different things and different unique concepts of food. And my previous Alfredo video, the very first one, if you haven't caught that video, go back and check out the Rio de Janeiro. I did a Brazilian steak picanha Alfredo. This has been really blowing up, this Alfredo that I have, the first video. So I decided to go with another Alfredo, and this is a lobster Alfredo. Okay, let's get started. Here right now, I got these 4-ounce lobster tail. These are cold water lobster tails, and we're gonna go inside right on this really cool rack. I have this rack here, which is pretty unique. It goes inside of a saute pan to where you can steam. This is really unique. So, in the way that you cut lobster tails, if I can get this in here, I'm gonna show you how you properly, don't cut them, you don't necessarily cut them, but what you do is you take these snips and picture the lobster tail in your hand, right? So you're gonna cut just the skin side. You're gonna cut, let me open this up. You're gonna cut this part right here. You wanna go inside with the shears and just cut. And when you cut that open, you don't necessarily cut the meat of the lobster tail. You're cutting the inner skin of the lobster tail, and then you'll take the edges and you'll just pop them as so. So you just want to open them up and put them on this rack. And this rack is pretty cool because there's water in here, and it's literally going to steam the lobster tails. Okay, so now just to let you know some more ingredients, we have a 3-cheese blend today. The first video was, I normally do a Parmesan Romano mix, but today is pretty cool. On this New England style Nantucket Alfredo, I'm going to go with a mixture here of Asiago, Parmesan cheese, and Romano. So we got a 3-cheese goodness going here. We got a 3-cheese blend, which is going to be really cool. Some more ingredients is a cup of heavy cream, of course, extra virgin olive oil. Today we're going to go with this white cooking style wine. There's absolutely 0 alcohol in this. This is just a cooking white wine to give some, open up the aromatics of the garlic. You're going to see that when we get started with our Alfredo base. Okay, now, you know we always have some cool stories and cool, interesting information here on this show. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about these really cool parsnips. Parsnips, let me wash my hands here. Parsnips have a history in New England, and they have a history also in Virginia. So what's really unique about it, chefs, what's really unique is that it's always good to have some type of history or some type of knowledge of where your food is coming from and the existence of the ingredients. You don't have to know the totality of everything, but it's really cool to learn something. So in essence, I have here some parsnips. Parsnips arrived from Europe, and they arrived from Europe many years ago in the early 1600s. Why is that important? Well, it's important because this was a survival food in New England. in the early 1600s when the weather and you had the frigid temperatures and freezing cold weather. I've researched this parsnip, which is really cool. And this is how people survived. This was their survival food back in the early 1600s. Can you imagine that? So basically, we're going to incorporate some parsnips here into our New England style Alfredo. And I have here some shaved parsley snips, and we're going to go in with that. Now, what's really awesome is that you can always explore, you can always come up with different ways and methods of creating exciting new foods. As I went to the fridge there and got my garlic out. So this is some minced chopped garlic, bacon, I'm sorry. This is chopped smoked hickory smoked bacon that we're going to render the fat out also in this. And we have, in the previous videos, I've taught you guys, this is a par-cooked Fettuccine Alfredo. And with this par-cooked Fettuccine Alfredo, you want to cook this, all right? And then you want to get some really good quality extra virgin olive oil going through there so you can see nothing is sticking. Nothing is sticking. And we teach you to salt. You need to make sure you salt and add as you go. So what you want to do is you want to salt your Fettuccine Alfredo noodles. You want to salt that in advance, early in advance. And you can taste the salt and seasonings as you go. Okay, because what happens is when you boil this initially, you pull that Alfredo pasta out of the water with the salted water that you salted. We teach you in the previous episodes that that salt and seasoned pasta water will completely fall off as you're pouring this in the drain. You're going to lose that flavor, so that's why we teach you on this show. It's important to salt and add salt and taste the pasta as you go. Okay, moving forward, we're going to go ahead now and check on the lobster tails. The lobster tails are doing very well. Those are holding up good. It's steaming. And you want to steam these 4-ounce lobster tails. If you're doing one 4-ounce lobster tail, 4 minutes is good. So I have 2, so it's going to take 10 minutes, actually 5 minutes per 4-ounce lobster tail. So if you're going to have 2 lobster tails steaming, then it takes 10 minutes to cook and steam these lobster tails. These lobster tails are turning color. We teach you as color changes, that's an indication that your food is working the way you want. That's good success. You want that to happen. You look for color, you look for texture, you taste and add your seasonings as you go. We implement that here on this show, and the lobster tails are doing well. They're doing very well. I had a little bit too much water in there. The water is evaporated. So we're going to continue to steam these. And they're going to be done probably in about another 3 minutes. Now, what we also teach is safety protocols. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome chefs. You're considered a chef. We call all of 700 plus of you, almost 800 strong, chefs. Now, you can pretty much go with cold water lobster tails. I'm going to show you this. Or you can just go with the frozen kind, okay? It doesn't have to be complicated. It's hard to get freshwater lobster tails, maybe where you are, unless you're on the East Coast. If you're in Virginia or you're in the Boston region or New England area, you get seafood all day long that's fresh, okay? So I highly recommend that you find whatever works for you. Don't stress yourself out. Make it simple, make it easy. And I'm just getting the top here adjusted to allow that steam to escape and cook the lobster tails as we go along. Okay, while this is steaming, we're gonna put some flavor into this lobster tail. We're gonna get some flavor in here. Okay, so this is a little bit of the Old Bay seasoning and the minced garlic. And I got some shallots here. And you just want to go over top, just a little top, on top of the lobster tail that's steaming. But you got to put some kind of flavor into these lobster tails. Okay, that's good. You don't want to go with butter right now. You just want to steam and get the lobster tails cooked. All right, so the lobster tails are pretty much almost done. And on this show, we will promise to keep this exciting for you. We will promise to keep this show going for you, and we will do our due diligence to make sure we acknowledge you. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to comment down below. We'll be happy to address anything that you might have questions or concerns with. We keep it popping, we keep it exciting here on this show. And the lobster tails, you can smell the aromatics, you can smell the garlic, the Old Bay seasoning that we placed on top of there, just a sprinkle on top of the lobster tails. You can smell it. The aromatics and everything is opening up really, really well. Old Bay is a seasoning and an herb that's used properly. It's popular, so it's used in seafoods, poultry, salads. It's been around for many years. You could use it for crabs, shrimp, or chicken. A little bit goes a long way. A little bit of this goes a long way. So just a little pinch, because lobster tails are very delicate meat. It's a very delicate type of seafood. So it's easy to overpower and over season it. You don't want salt. You just want aromatics, butter, garlic, things of that nature, fresh herbs. You want things like that. So be cautious when you use this Old Bay seasoning. Now, we promise you on all episodes, we will have the ingredients and all of the flavors, ingredients, and everything listed in the description down below, so you'll know the steps and procedures and what's needed. And we teach you on this show mise en place. What does mise en place mean? Having every component, everything staged. It just means being ready. That's all it means. Now, we can do our best to be ready, but I wasn't ready because I had to go back into the refrigerator and get this hickory smoked bacon out. So the lobster tails are almost there. Now, while this is still steaming, we got another minute or so. We're gonna go with this softened butter right on top. As you can see what I'm doing. And you just wanna go with a little bit of this butter on top. You don't wanna add the butter in the beginning. You wanna kind of just spread it out, get it underneath the shell. And I recommend to steam the lobster tails with the shell on, because it will continue to capture the flavor of the lobster tails. You want to make sure when you steam these lobster tails, steam them inside of their shells to keep the flavor going and keep everything there. Because once you get rid of the lobster tails, now you can make a separate stock from the lobster tails. You don't have to throw those lobster tails in the garbage or the trash. You can take these lobster tails and you can refreeze them or keep them sealed up. And then when you want to make a seafood stock, you can use shrimp shells, you can use the shells and the tails of this lobster, and you can make broths. You get some seafood stock going, some aromatics, some herbs, some vegetables, carrots, celery, strain it very well. You have a seafood stock. So it's important to make sure you utilize everything from your food. And the reason why you want to do that is because you work hard for your food. When you go grocery shopping, the very things that you throw away is the very things that you can use and you can utilize for the next time, for the next meal. What I like to do is, like, in particular, celery. If I have a celery stalk with the leaves, I use every inch, every piece of that celery. I love to use the celery leaves of the celery stalk, which most people don't know. They throw that away. Well, that's aromatics. You can use that into soups, sauces. The leaves from the celery, very, very important. I make egg rolls. I incorporate those in my egg rolls. Savoriness, they have tons of flavor in it. Okay, so now the lobster tails, they're there. They are done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now. We're going to go on the fly, and we are going to get started now with our Alfredo base. And when you go in with your Alfredo base, you want to make sure you have your ingredients already staged, and you want to take your time and have this low. Start off low right here with this. You don't want it high because you'll burn and scald everything. So we're going in now. 1 cup of heavy cream. Okay. Now we're going to go in now with this butter. 4 ounces of butter, softened butter. A pinch of salt. You want to go in with 1 clove of garlic. And this is the Alfredo base that we're building, guys, right here. Now, just a little bit of this salt, because you're going to get salt as we teach you from the cheese. The salt will come primarily from this cheese. This has already been salted with a little bit of Old Bay. You don't want to overdo it. And this cheese, the age of it, Romano, Parmesan, and Asiago. This has a lot of cheese, salt in this, and a lot of flavor. So you want to start very, very minimum amount of salt. So now you want to add your cheese, because we got your butter mixture. We have your butter mixture and your garlic, minced garlic. We want to go in there just like that. So we got the 3 cheese, Asiago, Parmesan, Romano cheese mixture inside, 1 cup of heavy cream, garlic, pinch of pepper, very small amount of pinched salt. Now, here's what we're gonna do. This wine needs to cook off. This is the cooking white wine, and it needs to cook off. This is how I do it. I add just a splash, and you wanna bring this up to temperature, and you don't want to put so much cooking wine in this. You just want to get the party started. There's absolutely no alcohol in this. It's completely safe. Cooking wines can be found at Walmart, your local grocery stores. You don't need an ID or anything to buy this. So there's nothing special behind it, except it opens up the flavors and aromatics. And to me, this white cooking wine adds sweetness. It adds sweetness to your Alfredo. Okay, so now I'm going to take these parsnips, these beautiful parsnips that we shaved, and you can just use like a vegetable peeler. I did that with a vegetable peeler. Okay, so you want to continue to stir. You can see what I'm doing in my left hand. I'm stirring. My left is your right. I'm stirring, and the Alfredo is smelling really good. Okay, now go inside with those parsnips. You want those shaved parsnips to cook into that Alfredo base, and you want to cook that. So we're going to go in with all of this cheese. We're just going to go ahead, and this is probably, I want to say about a good, this is about a good cup. I added 1 cup, so there's going to be plenty of salt in this. Okay, there's going to be plenty of salt in this. So you don't really necessarily, you don't have to worry about adding too much salt, because the cheese will take care of the salt for you. And you want to cook this. It's smelling really good in here. And you just want to cook this until your shaved parsnips, which is a carrot, that's what a parsnip is. It's pretty much a baby carrot. That's what it is. And you want to make sure that gets softened in the Alfredo mixture that we're cooking. The lobster tails are already cooked. They're already ready. It takes 10 minutes just to steam these, which didn't take long at all. And you put a little bit of the aromatics there, okay? Now, we're going to taste it and add, as we teach you, we're going to taste this Alfredo base that we're making right now that has the shaved parsnips inside, the garlic. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's money. Creamy, garlicky. This New England lobster tail Alfredo is coming out really well. Really, really well. Nice and creamy. It's just simmering. You just want a nice simmer on this. You don't want anything boiling very hard or heavy or burning. And you want to stir as you move along. That's carrots, the parsnips, that baby carrot, the parsnips shaved we added, the shaved parsnips. It's going to just touch up the sweetness a little bit. And it's very eclectic and unique. It's just going to help out with the saltiness and denseness of this. It's going to add a little bit of sweetness to your Alfredo base. This is going good. This is going very good. Okay, we are going to go now and add the fettuccine noodles. A little bit at a time, because we teach you that these Alfredo noodles gets very, very thirsty. And this is not taking long at all. This is pretty quick. You just want to make sure your Alfredo noodles are coated. And because we part cook these, we pre-cook them, then make sure we stop the cooking process. Okay, you can pull these off, these Alfredo noodles. You can part cook these halfway. Okay, if it takes 9 minutes, you go 4 minutes. Drain them. Make sure you put them on ice or run them under cold water. Okay, once the water has completely come off of it, salt it. Put salt in your noodles. And you want to taste the noodles as you go. So everything is coming out really well. We're just going to add a little bit more of the fettuccine Alfredo noodles to this. The pasta. Not too much, because it gets thirsty, so you want to go in stages. And watch what I'm doing. I'm turning, and all of the starch and everything is releasing from the Alfredo fettuccine noodles, and it's making the sauce thicker. That's what these Alfredo noodles does. They release starch, and it helps with your pasta and your sauce. Everything is coating nice and velvety. Everything is getting nice and creamy. And you want to continue to stir this. And we're almost there. Almost there. Okay. In the meantime, we're getting ready to bring it home. As I say, we're going to plate everything up. Get this ready for you. This is really, really quick. We're going to grab a plate and get the presentation ready for you, because we're almost there to where we're going to show you the finished product. And that's what we do. We bring it to you. Okay. Now. All right. Smelling really good in here. Oh, I'm going to just hold it up for you. I'm going to just show you. Look at that. All of the pasta noodles right here is coated. This is hot, so I'm gonna get it closer. There's your parsnips in there, your heavy cream, your Asiago, your Parmesan cheese, your Romano cheese, your 3 cheese blend. It's right there. I mean, this is super creamy. Look at the creaminess, and look at that. Every noodle is coated. Super duper creamy. Didn't take long at all. Now we're gonna finish this. We are going to take this, set it aside, because we have enough noodles and everything in this. Now we're going to take the lobster tails that have been steaming, that are done. We're going to take these lobster tails out, set them aside on the cutting board, and we're going to take this, get rid of that. Okay, now the final step I'm going to show you right now. The final step. Bacon. Remember that hickory smoked bacon we pulled out? We're getting ready to drop and render some of that fat in that bacon. And I'm going to show you how we're going to toss this up. Let's get a larger saute pan. Okay. Got a larger saute pan here. There we go. Get that saute pan down. And the reason why I did not want to go ahead and drop the bacon first is because it's easier and quicker just to get the base out of the way. That Alfredo base, you saw that it took minutes, very limited time. It didn't take long at all. Okay, we'll clean up a bit while we're preheating this pan here. As we teach you to clean as you go, safety procedures as you go, we teach you that. Now we got the pan here. So what we're going to do is render this bacon. We're going to render this bacon, this hickory smoked bacon, just for a bit. And I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. As I'm cleaning up here, cleaning my mess, we're gonna take a little bit of this, and you want medium on this heat. You can hear it right now, the bacon rendering. So this is a little bit of the Old Bay shallots and thyme, dry thyme, garlic, minced garlic. Gonna go inside and hit that bacon just like that. You pour some of that Old Bay shallots, garlic, and thyme right on top of that bacon, and it's gonna render out. You can hear it rendering right now. I'll show you what we're gonna do. Rinse my hands a bit. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to prep. While this is going, I'm going to prep and get my lobster tails ready. Okay, and these lobster tails, the lobster inside, once it's cool, make sure you touch this when it's cool. See these shells? These are the shells I talked about earlier. You can keep these and freeze them. Vacuum seal them really well. Keep these, and you can make stock or seafood or a lobster bisque or a lobster stock from this. Don't throw it away. Make sure you utilize everything that you cook with and you purchase. Make sure you use it, because it's going to be very beneficial for you. Okay, now I'm going to change my gloves. Okay, keep the hands clean. And that bacon is smoking up. It's smelling good. You just want to open that bacon up, and that bacon is smelling really nice. Guys, we're almost there. We're almost home, chefs. We are almost there. I've been waiting for you. Chefs, it's been an incredible week. I hope your day went well. I hope all is good with you. And here we go. We are just going right now and just rendering that hickory smoked bacon. Oh man, you can smell that. That bacon, you just want to get that bacon nice and crisp. Just want to get that flavor going inside of that bacon. And it's smelling up. Smelling really good in this kitchen. Okay, so the lobster tails are here, and you can go with larger lobster tails. You're going to see the presentation. You can go with a few of these to kind of shrink up, but they're done. It has a lot of flavor, a lot of sweetness in this. And it doesn't cost much or take much to do this, okay? Doesn't take much at all. Now, the bacon is changing colors. As the bacon is changing colors here, the garlic is nice and toasted. You don't want to burn the garlic, so you're going to go inside just like this. With your lobster, you're going to go inside with this Alfredo right on top of that bacon grease. So you got bacon grease in here, and you have your garlic, your bacon. You got your garlic, your bacon, the hickory smoked garlic, your parsnips. Everything is in here, and you just want to turn this just to incorporate that bacon. And that bacon, you can smell it, boy. You can smell this throughout. So this has the nice, beautiful, sweet shaved parsnips in here. This has that nice hickory bacon that we rendered just and get it crisp up with those shallots, that minced garlic, and that Old Bay seasoning. It's smelling so good in here. I'm telling you right now. And you just want this on low. It's already hot. You want this on medium to medium low, and you just want to just incorporate and get everything nice and creamy, because we're about to plate up in about another minute or so. This is really pretty. You just turn it. Every noodle is coated. That bacon is going to add some smokiness to this Alfredo. And right now we're plating up. Okay. We're going to grab this and plate it up, guys. We're going to go right in the center of this plate. And I'm going to eat and taste all of this, because I don't play around with Alfredos. Now I'm going to grab this pan. We're just going to go on top just like that. Oh man, I'm telling you right now. Okay, clean up my mess. Get this nice and presentable for you. We're gonna bring it home. We're almost there. Just want to make sure I clean up all of this. I like to clean as I go. Keep my wife happy. Okay, she likes when I clean as I go. All right, so now the finished product is here. We are going to take these lobster tails. That goes in the sink. We're going to get rid of this and take this. Put that there in the sink. Now, wipe this plate up. There's some plate wiping here. Bring it home, make it nice for you. Make it nice and beautiful for you. I'm going to show you before I put the lobster tails on there. Look at that New England. This is a New England lobster Alfredo. I call this the Nantucket lobster tail Alfredo. Look at that. Look at the bacon, the parsnips, the creaminess and denseness of this. Whew, man, I'm telling you. Here's the lobster tails. We're going to take those 4-ounce lobster tails and go just like that. And we're not done yet. We are not done. We're going to make sure we scoop out that Alfredo and we're going to put it in because we don't waste anything on this show. Nothing. See that? Put that extra creaminess right there. If you want to go ahead and go with some garnish on top, you can go with a little bit of, just a little dry herb, Italian. You can just do a little pinch of this dry Italian seasoning right on top. That's it right there. This is that creamy, beautiful lobster tail right there. This is the Nantucket New England lobster tail Alfredo. I'm gonna grab a fork and I'm gonna taste it because it's smelling really good in here. I really do appreciate your time, chefs. The pleasure is all mine. And we're gonna keep this show going for you. We promise that. Look at that. That bacon is going through there. Now you can't tell me bacon, hickory smoked bacon, lobster, sweet lobster tail with this creamy 3-cheese Alfredo that has the Parmesan Romano. Oh goodness. And the Asiago cheese. A 3-cheese Alfredo. Bon appetit. I have no words. Look at the lobster tail. With that Old Bay seasoning. Those aromatics we got earlier. One more bite. I'm not gonna play with this. You can taste the Old Bay seasoning. You can taste the Old Bay lightly dusted into this lobster tail. The lobster tail is tender because we steamed it. Melt in your mouth. You can taste the bacon. Excuse me. But right now it is so good. I encourage you to try this. I will have all the ingredients listed down below. This is the Nantucket New England bacon, lobster, with those beautiful parsnips in there. Lobster Alfredo. The parsnips are tender. They just add that nice texture balance and sweetness to the Alfredo. It's nice. It's a nice complement to the Alfredo. It adds a bit of sweetness, a little bit of texture. That bacon. Can you imagine Hickory smoked bacon with lobster and lobster tail with this Alfredo? I can't put it down. I can't let you go, but I gotta put it down. I gotta let you go. Thank you, chefs, for tuning in for another episode of Salt and Strive. We greatly value your time. We'll see you next week, and thank you for tuning in. We'll have all ingredients listed down below. Chef, the pleasure has all been mine. I appreciate you, chefs. You guys are leaders, you're trendsetters, and we'll see you next week. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Salt and Strive.